follow me down to the Rose Parade. All right, let me see. Boom. All right. Let me see. I got the chat set up. I don't know if I forgot anything this morning. Good God Almighty. We're out here. All right, it's your boy, Zak Zyz. This is day 7 of the editing stream. In 7 days, we've made it through exactly 2 chapters. So it doesn't bode well. Oh, I don't think, I think I forgot to do the time and how many words. Oh, we got, we didn't post the time up for day 6, but I'm sure that we could get it from the YouTube feed. So right now we have Spaethiwa in a commanding lead for edits and numerous others lapping at his heels at the moment there. And I better not have that woo flu. Yeah, it's allergy season though. So, and also this is a wet cough. So it's some fucking comfort there. I don't know. I'm only really going to worry if I lose my sense of taste, like vapor. I'll start wearing that hat all the time. No. Huh, wait. Queens officials want 75 miles of city streets to be used for cyclists and pedestrians only. Oh, I fucking love that. I've been arguing for that shit for a while, actually. You just shouldn't have cars in Manhattan at all. Really, all of New York City. What are cars doing here? Get that bullshit out of here. You have like a certain number of these licensed taxis, and that's it, right? And then in the rain, everybody's got to get wet, and like be like a service that just gives you free rides if you're old or crippled or whatever. That's the way that the city ought to work. All right. Anyhow, gotta make it through this somehow. So chapter 2. This ain't no turnstile. So we just met Gabriel Thibodeau, aka Thirsty. Before that was a chapter. Oh, it's actually, we've done 3 chapters. So there was the one where we met Lemon and Maybe, the one where we met Kaiser Duchance and Carl Mason and Matthew Hausterlitz. Then the last chapter, we met Thirsty and his grandma. And this is a new chapter where we get to meet Matthew and Thirsty in detail. And this used to be like a really weak chapter. This is where a lot of people used to stop reading and survive reading Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady. So hopefully we've shored it up a little bit because the rest of the book is just fucking amazing. Really is. I really think this is a strong book, but we're gonna see what we can do with it. So this ain't no turnstile. Chapter 2. By the time Thirsty gets to Chinatown, yeah. By the time Thirsty gets to Chinatown Fair, Matthew Housterless is already on a losing streak. What's up with my voice? Man, I just woke up. Shouldn't be so froggy. I didn't even drink last night. Like, I don't know what that. Everybody's wondering the same thing. So, by the time Thirsty gets to Chinatown Fair, Matthew Housterless is already on a losing streak. Thirsty wades into the arcade. It's a sweltering vise of shouting and jostling and anguished cries of... Quais? Ugh. Hold on. Wait a minute. Thirsty wades into the arcade. It's a sweltering vise of shouting and jostling. Anguished cries of bullshit rise above the fray. Chinatown Fair smells like spilled soda, skunk weed, and deodorant that wore off 4 hours ago. There are 15 Street Fighter machines in this cramped little L-shaped arcade, with a few pinball machines and a Miss Pac-Man and a Ms. Pac-Man and Galaga. Let's just take out the Galaga part. In fact, let's take out Ms. Pac-Man. And a Galaga machine at the front that nobody plays. Shouts to fucking Galaga, by the way. Love that game. Galaga was definitely either Galia or Xevious. Those were my favorite. And I probably played the most Galaga, but those are my favorite Atari era games of all time. Post up yours in the chat if you're with us. Like, what was your favorite Atari era game? All right, so let's take another look at this paragraph. By the time Thirsty gets to Chinatown Fair, Matthew House. By the time Thirsty gets to Chinatown Fair, his best friend, Matthew Housterlitz, is already on a losing streak. Thirsty wades into the arcade. It's a sweltering vise of shouting and jostling. Anger's cry. Yeah, what the hell? Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm like having some difficulty speaking. Maybe I'm just sleepy, but what the fuck? That's a little weird. Specifically, when I say anguished, yeah, I'm just not like enunciating right. I can feel like a kind of tension happening there, but whatever. I'm gonna make it happen just the same. By the time Thirsty gets to Chinatown Fair, his best friend Matthew Housterlitz is already on a losing streak. Thirsty wades into the arcade. It's a sweltering vise of shouting and jostling. Anguished cries of bullshit rise above the fray. Chinatown Fair smells like spilled soda, skunk weed, and deodorant that wore off 4 hours ago. There are 15 Street Fighter machines in this cramped little L-shaped arcade, with a few pinball machines and a Galaga machine at the front that nobody plays. So we changed up that line a little bit. There are 15 Street Fighter machines in this cramped little L-shaped arcade with a few other cabinets scattered throughout. With a few other fighter games scattered throughout. By the front door, there are 15 pinball machines and a Galaga cabinet nobody ever plays. Thirsty can see 3 money matches going on at once. Most people are gathered around to see Lee Ho. Yeah, maybe I should just name Lee Ho Justin Wong, because he's just like basically stand-in for somebody like Justin Wong, like a fat Chinese guy who's really good at video games. How many of those do you know? Thirsty can see 3 money matches going on at once. Most people are gathered around to see Lee Ho, the best player in the arcade. He's taking on Jiro, a second-string tournament player from Japan. From the looks of it, Lee is taking Jiro for a ride. Across from them, Tyrone, aka Tyrannosaurus, is playing Fabrice from Long Island, who plays as Mr. Fantastic in the weekly tournaments. Matthew and Thirsty enter the tournament every week. Matthew and Thirsty enter the tournament every week and seldom make it out of the first round. This place is full of sharks. Come on, Romy. Double or fucking nothing, Matthew pleads. And he's got that driven, crazy look Thirsty has seen about 100 times. Matthew is about to do something stupid. There's no use. Matthew is about to do something stupid. There's no use trying to stop him. He holds out a yellow Metro card. Fuck is this? Do I look like the MTA? Fuck am I gonna do with your Metro card, son? Jerome asks, smacking his gum as he talks. Jerome's got a 2-pack-a-day wintergreen habit. That's an unlimited. Give me 80 on it. I just got it Thursday. Motherfucker, this ain't no turnstile. How I know what you got on your card? Fool, how am I gonna Fool, how am I gonna lie about a card when I come in here every day? Just beat my ass if it's not legit, it's for real. Ask Thirsty. Sup, Thirsty? Jerome daps Thirsty. Remember back in the day when you could still dap before all of this ever went down? Sup, Jerome? Thirsty greets Jerome back. He gives a little shake of his head, silently pleading with Jerome not to take the bet. This motherfucker legit? That and unlimited? I know how y'all be scheming. Jerome pats an imaginary kippa at the back of Jerome pats an imaginary yarmulke at the back of his head and makes Dracula fangs with his index fingers. So he's doing like oh, I could so see somebody doing that in real life. I would do that in real life. I know how y'all be scheming. So oh. There's a flash of unstable fire in Matthew's eyes, and Thirsty gets ready to grab him and sit in case he tries some crazy shit. 95% of the time that look leads nowhere, but that 5% is always something you'll never forget. Roll that 20 and Maddie just might go for the throat. Show everyone a real vampire. Fortunately, Matthew keeps it together. He still needs to win his money back. Yeah, that's a real unlimited. But don't bet this stupid motherfucker, because I'm going to have to let him have a swipe to get home if he lose, Thirsty grumbles. You playing that fucking Dalsim again, Maddie? Okay, so I was thinking a little bit about moving this Thirsty Grumbles to the end of this so that we break this. But I like the impact. The reason why this is written, where we have paragraph of text, then we have saying, like, who's saying it, which is kind of, it's so weird in English that we do a lot of things after the part where you would, like, process them with your brain in English. And it's like one of the weaker points of our language. And it's also like something that makes things kind of strange. Like the way that adjectives come before the object of the adjective, like pretty girl. Whereas a language like Arabic, it would be a girl pretty. And forgive me if I'm fucking up Arabic, because it's been a long time since I've studied it. But most languages, I want to say, have their adjective, their modifiers after the noun. So you get an idea of what you're looking at. And then you modify the concept that you created in your mind. But in English, we tell you a little bit what to expect, and then we explain who it is. Like when you have a paragraph of text with multiple people talking there, like, yeah, that's a real unlimited, but don't bet this stupid motherfucker, so I'm going to have to let him a swipe to get home if he lose, Thirsty grumbles. So that whole paragraph, you're like, okay, who's saying this shit? And then, oh, it's Thirsty, right? And I'm not going to like come down on it and just say, oh, that's illogical, it's stupid, because, you know, like I love reading English. I think it's a stupendous language. I've like, and I've been exposed. I'm not fluent in any other languages at the moment, but I've been exposed to some other languages to the point where I can tell you, like, yeah, there's a lot of neat shit in English that is not in other languages. But at the same time, you know, it's a strange fucking language. More so as we're getting deeper down into this. But anyhow, so that's just like a little aside based on what are we looking at here? Like shifting these words, 7 words left or right, makes like that whole little bit of difference. I almost had him last match, Matthew protests. Dalsim is ass, Thirsty announces to the whole arcade, and there are a few murmurs of agreement from people nearby. Yo, that's a fucking bet if you want it then. Unlimited good for me. Get that money, son, Jerome says. And then in a booming voice he cries out, I ain't selling candy for no school or no basketball team, just trying to make some money to keep myself off of the street and out of trouble. Instead of robbing and stealing, I'm out here candy dealing. Got that Skittles, Starburst, M&M peanut, and Welch's fruit snack. 2 for $1. Oh my God. I have heard people say that 100,000 fucking times. Wait, are we even streaming at the moment right there? It shows a couple people on the stream. Like tap. Is this thing on? Oh, none of the edit people are awake. I think I ain't seen Spathy War or whatever there. Well, shout outs to the people that are there. Keep the hood in your heart, homies. What do we got? Oh, there we go. So we got Melpo Menex. Melpo Menex, where are you from? Are you part of the LRH set, or are you just like stumble in here or whatever? Anyhow, I'm glad that somebody's out there. It's just weird editing on your own, man. Which is strange, like for these many centuries, that has been the way that everybody edits. And now I'm super spoiled by having people chatting all the time. The sales pitch works. A few people actually come over to buy candy. Surprised, Jerome rustles in his backpack to make the sales. Matthew plunks the Metro card on the monitor's frame. All right, let's go, Jerome says, cracking his knuckles. He pops another stick of wintergreen in his mouth and rolls his head on his shoulders. Matthew staring at the screen, trying to focus. At least pick somebody good, Thirsty groans. But Matthew locks in Dulcium and gets destroyed, 0-2. Would you say 0-2 or 0-2? I'd say 0-2. Grinning, Jerome plucks the Metro card off the line. We can't use plucks. There. Wait, can we use pluck? Grinning, Jerome plucks the Metro card off the line of quarters. Bodied. Don't be mad because you've been had, Jerome crows. And Thirsty grabs Matthew before he can start some shit. When he's not playing a garbage character, Matthew can sometimes take a few rounds off of Jerome. LRH, yeah? All right, cool. Well, welcome to the editing deal. When he's not playing a garbage character, Matthew can sometimes take a few rounds off Jerome. But in a real fight, feels like the comment should be there. But in a real fight, Romy will definitely beat Maddie's skinny ass, and everybody, yeah. Romy will definitely beat Matthew's skinny ass, and everyone at the fair will laugh at him. Thirsty has seen it happen more than once. I think this should be... Thirsty's seen it happen more than once. I'm going to stick with the has there. It tracks a little bit better. Fuck, Matthew cries when Thirsty Thirsty drags him out into the blinding daylight. Laughter follows them out. Thirsty drags Matthew out into the blinding, the blinding daylight. Thirsty drags Maddie into the blinding daylight, and laughter follows them out. What? Why are you beach balling? Lord have mercy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today, but if you're on IRC chat, there's just been a whirlwind of people acting stupid for like the last, I want to say 2 or 3 days. Fucking, like, not even just in my channel. I think everybody just got too bored at once. Like they're fucking DDoSing the network. They're like flooding like revenge porn. They're doing all kinds of stupid shit. Like somebody was flooding my channel and like every channel on the network because he was mad that we didn't hang up on somebody on the show. It's fucking ridiculous. Everybody's wondering the same thing. Did I get my tire fixed on my bike? No, I forgot I was gonna do it on Saturday, and the store is closed on Sunday. So if it ain't raining, which is anybody's guess from this vantage point, I'm gonna try and do it today. But yeah, like I need to get that tube fixed. Lord have mercy. I should just do it myself. I don't have a bike pump now. My bike pump broke, so, and I also don't have tubes. And it's the rear tire, and fuck taking a rear tire off of a bicycle. It's a pain in the ass, man. I'd rather pay somebody $40 to do it. And it's going to be $40 because they got to get some spokes re-put in and all kinds of stuff. Let me see there. God. But yeah, that was kind of a like a weird deflation, like everything fell apart. Oh, I should remember what street this is on. I think it's Broom Street. Oh, it's on Mott Street. Mott Street is thronged with people buying fruit and weird dried out shit from Chinese medicine shops. A chemical smell. So we say chemical smell there. We're foreshadowing too hard. God, the way I drank there sounds like I'm fucking bubbling a bong. Ridiculous. The smell of wood smoke tickles Thirsty's nose. Then he sneezes explosively. Gesundheit, Matthew says, solemn with remorse. $80 in a Metro card. Fuck, man. You and that sim. He's good. I just need more practice. Thirsty just stares back. Matthew. Thirsty just shakes his head and stares back at Matthew. My dad's gonna beat my ass, Matthew groans. Wish we could hang out at your house. My grandma beat your ass worse. Woman's too racist. Matthew makes the finger fangs and then sighs when Thirsty doesn't laugh. Matthew makes the Dracula fangs with his fingers and then sighs when Thirsty doesn't laugh. He's been like this for 2 weeks, anxious all the time, can't focus on anything for long, taking stupid risks, even for Matthew. Smoking too much weed and skipping too much class. Something's up. Fuck this place. Let's get out of here, Matthew says, spitting on the sidewalk in front of the fair. Why are you acting so wild lately? Thirsty asks. What do you mean? I'm always like this, Matthew says, already defensive. Nah, Thirsty says, with a minute shake of his head. It's just a streak of bad luck, that's all. Nah, you fucking up. So he shakes his head a little bit earlier. Fuck you, Gabriel. I get this shit every night. I don't need it from you. Matthew's eyes are wet as he wheels to leave. Thirsty just watches him go. He doesn't like to move if he doesn't have to. Sure enough, halfway down the block, Matthew scrubs his eyes with his sleeve, then turns heel and comes back to Thirsty. Where does he think he was going? Where did he think he was going? He doesn't have any other friends. Can we just go and make some money? I can't deal with this shit, man. For a second, Thirsty thinks it's a bad idea. Matthew's too erratic to make moves. He's likely to get both of them clapped. But there's something desperate in his eyes. Like if Thirsty refuses, there's no telling what he'll do. All right, bet. Thirsty concedes. He doesn't want to see Matthew show up He doesn't want to see Matthew show up at school with his arm in a sling again. Let's hit up Best Buy on Broadway. Can't go there. We just hit them last week. Gotta rotate. You need new headphones, right? What about that DJ spot on Bowery? Jeremy Pine's cousin owned that. Fuck Jeremy Pine's. Yeah, but if Jeremy see you on camera, we fucked. Canal Street then. Okay, Thirsty nods. Their first place is no good. There's 2 people working the counter. All right, so I think in all this text, okay, cool. So just on the first instance of text, we'll identify the speaker, and then it should be apparent who the other speaker is. All right, hold on. We got something coming through. It's a newsletter from Streamlabs. That's the last thing that I wanted to get. The first place is no good. 2 people are working the counter in the second spot they hit not too long ago, but the third store is just right. Canal Pro Audio has a single old man working in the counter, and it's deserted. Oh, by the way, if you ever go in there, they are so fucking shady. This is a real store, and they're real shady. But I think these headphones I bought there. Lord have mercy. Canal Pro Audio has a single old man working the counter, and it's deserted. Give me 10, I'm gonna haggle, Matthew says, and Thirsty nods. Thirsty nods, looking at his watch, a silver Zodiac with a big scratch on the face. He should have been worth a couple $100, but nobody wanted to buy a scratch watch. Thirsty keeps telling himself he'll get it fixed. Fix the watch, do his homework, start working out. It never happens. Yeah, that should just be one paragraph. 10 minutes go by and he glances in the store. Matthew has 10 different kinds of headphones lined up out of the boxes, and the old Chinese man behind the counter looks frustrated. It's time for Thirsty to make his play. Price on box, the old man says, as the electric door chime sounds, annoyance in his voice. Annoyance rising high in his voice. He looks up at Thirsty like his day has gone from bad to worse. "Aw, can't you do a little better? I like these, but these definitely look cooler. What do you think? Which one has better bass?" Deliberately avoiding eye contact, Thirsty rolls over to a rack of adapters and cables, turning his back to the guy and taking things off the rack, putting them back at the wrong spot. Oh shit, there's Big Spathywah. He says, "We not sleeping here." It's just been me editing this whole time. Anything could have gone wrong. Good God. So, deliberately avoiding eye contact, Thirsty rolls over to a rack of adapters and cables. He starts rifling through them with his back to the man at the counter, taking bubble packs. Grabbing cables, scrutinizing them, and putting them back in the wrong place. "What about price match? Student discount?" "No discount," the old man snaps, and then he leaves Matthew at the counter to swoop in on Thirsty. "What you need?" he asks, as Thirsty knocks one of the little metal arms off the rack. What you need, he asks, as Thirsty knocks one of the little metal arms off the rack and drops a half a dozen XLR to TRS adapters clattering onto the ground. Where the cable that goes from my phone to speakers? Thirsty asks, and the old man's eye twitches as Thirsty picks up the adapters and shoves them. All right, this is so clunky. And the old man, English first language, who pronounce rifling like riffing. I mean, like the two words aren't incredibly distant from each other. Wait, where do we put the rack? Oh, we don't specify where the rack. Yeah. Where the cable to go from my phone to speakers? Thirsty asks. What phone? iPhone, Thirsty says. Trying to jab and I think we have too much fumbling with we don't need to have all this word. iPhone, Thirsty says, trying to jimmy the metal arm back in place. Leave it, I fix. 1 second. Matthew is already gone, 2 sets of headphones tucked into his backpack. The old man looks up as the door chime sounds, but he's stuck with Thirsty. $15, the old man says, squinting at the row of headphone boxes. $15 for a cable? Yo, fuck that. The old man rolls his eyes and puts the cable back. The old man rolls his eyes and puts the cable back. $15, the old man says, producing a white apple box. Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's not counterfeit. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's take that out. Matthew's already gone. My mic picks up such little sound. I keep thinking I have you muted when you're not talking. Yeah, it's we probably ought to have some fucking background music or something like that while this is going on. But I can't think of anything that wouldn't be like a little bit distracting. Um, but so there's what's called a an expander. Basically, this microphone runs through a channel to a processing unit that acts as like both a preamplifier and it's doing like a bunch of stuff. Like it's got a compressor running on it, and it's got an expander, which basically, when it detects audio coming through the mic, it opens the channel and then it slowly closes it so that you just have like a flat sound. So, um, yeah, weird with no little buzz or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. You get like a fucking fan pointed right at me so that there's like constantly like a shh in the background. I get one of those fucking wave machines in the background. That's not actually the, the most terrible idea ever. It could be a terrible idea. Just to have like a recording of the ocean in the background, like seagulls and shit like that, playing on a continuous loop. Or I could do like some field recordings in Manhattan so that we could have the sound of like the street in the background. I think this is an incredibly stupid idea to like pipe in artificial audio, but it's strangely compelling to me. Fucking some new age wave machine in the background there. Good God. Yeah, sorry to clansplain how fucking signal processors work. Just not most people. I would say that if you take your average dude off the street, the odds that they know how a compressor works are like not so great. So, all right, well, we'll try it for a day. Let me just get like an ocean recording or some nonsense in the background. Just like buoys and shit like that. Soothing ocean sounds. I'm sure that there's a YouTube video, 8 hours of soothing ocean sounds that we could do this with. God, I don't know. Maybe it'll be relaxing to me too. Because yeah, like sometimes I got to tell you, the silence is palpable when I'm like, oh, how do I fix this fucking chapter? Thirsty feigns outrage and stomps out of the store as the old man rolls his eyes. But he doesn't. Okay. $15 for a cable? Yo, fuck that. Thirsty feigns outrage and stomps out of the store as the old man rolls his eyes in exasperation. Thirsty's heart is pounding. With every step, he expects the old man. He expects the counterman to scream out that he's calling the police. But he doesn't. It's a simple dodge, but it always works. With his glasses and his kippa, they never expect Matthew as the one who's going to boost the stuff. They're always on Thirsty. shout outs to them having a rally point. Where do I live? Because I always try to come to my streams, but they're at like 3 a.m. I live in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, I just wake up real early to edit because I don't know, there's something like fucked up with me, especially lately, where I'm only like productive, right? I can only get stuff done until like maybe noon every day, and then after that, I just like kind of like lack all will and motivation and so forth. I've been talking about it a little bit, but yeah, I get my best writing done in the early morning, generally always. And so I try to seize as much of that as I can by waking up super early. Thirsty and Matthew have a rally point at Burger King. After they steal something, here we can actually change. So there isn't a rallies on. Actually, hold on. They have rallies and they have other checkers in fucking New York. So there's a restaurant called Rallies. 101. Let's see. No locations within. So there's this chain. Let me see if there's one that just has every rallies out there. All rallies location. So they got Alabama, Arizona. They've got some in California. They got Louisiana, Nevada. What's the furthest north that they get? They have one in Pennsylvania, and they got some in. So anyhow, this is like a burger chain where so Zaz Tam is so Stately Law thought it was Rally. I think Rally's in North Carolina. But yeah, it's this burger chain, and if you know me, it's been immortalized in the Cal Ripken Jr. story. Batter up, Cal exclaimed. Shouts to anybody who recognizes that. If you don't recognize it, don't look for it. So anyhow, there's fucking rallies. And it would be great if their rally point was at rallies, but there are no rallies in New York City. Type without looking. see. Rally point at Burger King. Rally point at Thirsty hits their rally point at Burger King on Canal. All right, I like that. Let's give Spathy a point. Boom. Just to round it out to 30. Boom, that's our first external edit of the day right there. The things we've seen. All right. Let me ask you something. Which one of these headphones has better bass? Matthew says in his good boy voice. Let me get the black ones, Thirsty says. Thirsty points an onion ring at the Sonys. I want the black ones. Flip that shit. Nah, you take them. Nah, you take them, man. Busting that rack was inspired. All right, hold on. At the Burger King on Canal. Okay. Definite article. I think there's only one Burger King on Canal, so we can do that. Is there one Burger King on Canal? Hold on. Yeah, it's at 273. That's fucking... Is that even Canal Street? No, man, that's fucking Delancey Street. And Canal Street's over here. I know that there is a Burger King. Or at one point, at the point where this story was getting written, there was a Burger King on Canal Street. Now there might not be. Unless I'm confusing it with a Wendy's. They even have fucking... See, these are the kind of things you have to worry about when you're writing a story. They even have a fucking... Wendy's on... does Wendy's even serve onion rings? That's their problem. God, there's a lot of these fuckers. House done. Yeah, I remember that Popeyes there. Yeah, I think if there was a Burger King there, it might have closed down. But everything's closed down now. It's like the Starlink satellites, 5 Wendy's in a row. Yeah, all the fucking astronomy nerds are real upset about that whole Starlink shit. They need to get over it. Fucking satellites are amazing. I've never seen the Starlinks flying by the way. I'd like to, but yeah, I like satellites in general. I think it's dope that we can have like geostationary orbits and so forth. Thirsty heads to their rally point at the Burger King on Canal Street. Yeah, that's fine. Matthew is already inside, munching on her onion rings. Let me ask you something. Which one of these headphones has better bass? Double was after busting the rack? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna give you that double was point. Nah, you take him. Busting that rack was inspired, Matthew offers. First onion rings, then the good headphones. He's always charitable after a heist. Stealing puts him in a good mood. See, I like that. So that you might like wonder like why do we give a fuck about onion rings? Um, in like the story, and maybe you're right, but like the onion rings are kind of there um to like because these two are friends, right? Like Matthew and Thirsty really do like each other, and so like a little action, like hey, you want some of my fucking onion rings, homie? Yeah, dog, and like just clowns him down and so forth. Um, there's just some little things that I want where I want to show that these kids do give a shit about each other and like just do some of like the little friend things. So hopefully that carries, but we'll see. Wasn't even on purpose. That shit rickety as fuck. Where we net? Let's coast for a bit. Maybe find someone to buy these. Fuck. That old man was so lost. I wish I'd grabbed another set. I gotta replace the Metro card or Gerald will flip. Take both, Thirsty offers, but Matthew just shakes his head. Take both sets, man, Thirsty offers, but Matthew just shakes his head. They wander around in a big loop onto Bowery Street, and Thirsty peers in the window of Rec Records, the DJ store they can't steal from because of Jeremy Pines. There's a Serato set up on display. Tex, a rain mixer. Serato is capitalized. The boys wander around in a big loop onto Bowery Street. All right, so Bowery is capitalized. And street is also capitalized. The boys wander around in a big loop onto Bowery Street. The boys wander around Lower Manhattan and find their way onto Bowery Street. Thirsty peers in the window of Rec Records, the DJ store they can't steal from because of Jeremy Pines. There's a Serato set up on display, Tex and a rain mixer. There's a Serato set up on display, Tex and a rain mixer. Technics 1200s and a rain mixer on an Odyssey stand. On either side of the table, yep. On either side of the turntables, two 15-inch JBL speakers are mounted on rods. Let's see. Okay, and then 20 inches hypnotized. Good God. Allergies, man. Although I can hear that my voice like cleared up after a little bit, which is nice. Still a little gravelly. Maybe I'm just getting old. $20-inch subs on the Impala. Man, I want that. Man, I want that. We gotta get some turntables and some of those big ass speakers. What are you gonna do with speakers, Gabriel? That bass will... What are you going to do with speakers, Gabriel? All that bass will knock Grandma's pictures off the wall, Matthew teases. Fuck you, crazy Jew. I'm telling you we should get a whole DJ set up and play parties. That's how you get girls. Man, we don't even get invited to parties. How are we going to play them? Matthew gives Thirsty this hopeless look like he's talking about flying to the moon instead of spinning some records. Let me figure that shit out. Man, you always like this after we make a move. All brooding and shit. So that's actually like a really good note because he would, Gabriel, he would do that. So that's a really good spot to italicize Gabriel. It's like a little change, but it matters a lot. And this shouldn't be italicized. Yo, I wish I had it set up like that. We gotta get some turntables and some of them big ass speakers. Let me see. Nah, fuck that. At the shop? Yo, fuck that. Yeah, that's a good spot for an italic. I'll give you an extra point for that one. And also, comment after yo. Yo, fuck that. I like it. Yo, fuck that. Can we get extra U's in there? Hold on. No, we don't need the extra U's. Especially not 3. Yo, fuck that. Yeah, I like that. Fuck you, crazy Jew. I'm telling you, we should get a whole DJ set up and play parties. That's how you get girls. And we don't even get invited to parties. How are we going to play them? And you always get like this after we make a move. All brooding and shit. No, but italics does. Yeah, that doesn't. So if we do this, yeah, the way Thirsty knows it won't last. Perfect. Yeah, like you have that initial wave of adulation, then it's just kind of like, you know. And I will tell you, in my own experiences with crime, it really is like that. There's like an initial rush, like, yeah, we fucking did it. We got away with this shit. We're the best and everything. And then it just kind of settles in. It's like, now I got to worry about this shit, you know? So I like just that little line there. That's real helpful for me. Matthew starts walking down Bowery, and Thirsty follows reluctantly, taking one last stare at the. What's the word that we? Let's hold on. Let's thesaurus this up. I want to have a an adverb or something like that there. Greedy. Covetous. That's what I want. Someday. DJ Thirsty. Classic Harlem Ballroom. Savoy. Is the Savoy still there? I haven't been there. No, it was demolished. Slum? Oh, that's a bummer. Let's just put him at the Beacon. Where? So we got to think about this. And back in the day, the tunnel used to be. Thrice. Daydreaming of a day where the marquee letters at Beacon Hall spell out DJ Thirst. Let's see. I think of like Beacon Hall. Oh yeah, let's just do Webster Hall. That makes much more sense. Webster Hall is like an awful venue, by the way. But there have been some great. In fact, I'm about to miss some shows that should be there. I wonder if I should try to get my money back for those fucking shows from Ticketmaster or whatever. He takes a final covetous glance at the turntables, daydreaming of a day when the marquee letters at Webster Hall spell out DJ Thirst. I like that. I like that image. Let's take a look at. Most reviewed equals lowest denominator. Oh, cool. Yeah. Giant 3-foot 3D letters. Party supplies. Let me see. What do these marquee letters look like? Oh, well. I can finally spell out live, laugh, love. Moon lamps and so things that you find in girls' bedrooms, like these fucking. Everybody has one of those fucking salt lamps, man. Whoa. Although that fad is fading or whatever, but it used to be like every time you go in somebody's bedroom, it's like all pink lit with those salt lamps. Ugh. It's too expensive. We gotta keep the shit we take under 1,000. Past that, it's grand larceny and the cops start to give a fuck. If we're gonna do that, we might as well go for something really big, Matthew says. How do you know that shit, thirsty ass? It's a general concern of his. Matthew just soaks up anything he hears. Sometimes Thirsty worries he's only failing classes to keep. Okay, yeah, that's. How do you know that shit? Thirsty asks. It's a general concern of his. Matthew just soaks up anything he hears. Thirsty sometimes worries Matthew is only failing classes to keep him company. There we go. Gerald told me. Gerald told me. He went through all this. He went through all this shit after we got taught taking that PlayStation. If you do this, juvie for this long. If you do this, they fine you. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Basically all the stuff they put us in juvie for. He said if I got caught with a gun or coke, he wasn't even going to bother bailing me out. There's like a whole lot of. He said if I got caught with a gun or coke, he wasn't even going to bother bailing me out. Arson, tagging a church, using a knife, having more than an ounce of pot or selling it, any of that stuff. He just let me rot in jail. Colloquial spelling is juvie. Yep. Fucking words agrees. Let me get this Himalayan salt lamp shit off of my screen. Classic hip hop venues. There we go. It's quite a journey over there to 33. We do any of that and he'll let me rot. You think he'd really just leave you in? You think he'd really leave you in jail? Fuck yeah. He'd lock me up himself if he could. Fucking Gerald. Okay. Gerald told me. He went through all this shit after we got caught taking that PlayStation. Let me see. You think he'd really leave you in jail? Fuck yeah, he would. You sure your dad ain't bluffing? Would he really leave you? So, it's not clear to the reader that Gerald is his father and not like a fucking stepdad or something like that. So I'm just adding that line there. You sure your dad ain't bluffing? Would he really leave you in jail? Fuck yeah, he would. He'd lock me up himself if he could. Fucking Gerald. I like fucking Gerald. Fucking Gerald. That's fucked up, man. My grandma. Yeah, let's take that edit. I think it just tracks a little better. That's fucked up, man. Grandma would beat my ass if I got caught, but she would never let me stay in no cell. I can't fucking wait to get out of there, man. As soon as I turn 18, I am gone. Yeah, so as soon as I turn 18, I am gone. Maybe before if we can hit something big. Make some real money. Like what though? Gabriel asks. No, we can't do. So this is a little bit. I can't fucking wait to get out of there. As soon as I turn 18, I'm gone. No, so gone would be italics. Maybe before if we can hit something big. Make some real money. Like what though? Gabriel asks. Suddenly pitted against his fear of jail. Oh, there is indeed a comma after 18. I can't fucking wait to get out of here. As soon as I turn 18, I'm gone. Maybe before if we can hit something big. Make some real money. Like what though? Gabriel asks. Missed a comma before. Fucked up man should have a comma before man. That's fucked up, man. In fact, let's just omit man. Yeah, I'll give you a point, but just man doesn't belong in that sentence. If we have to put a comma there, it's too much. Senpai noticed me. I like looking at these whole deals. I can't fucking wait to get out of here. I can't fucking wait to get out of here, thirsty. As soon as I turn 18, I'm gone. Maybe before if we can hit something big. Make some real money. Like what though, Gabriel? His desire for turntables is counterbalanced by his fear of jail. I'll think of something, Matthew grins. Come on, let's get back uptown before it rains. How the fuck are you gonna get back uptown? How the fuck are you gonna get back uptown with no Metro card? Lend me a swipe, Big T. I knew this shit would happen, man. I knew this shit would happen. I fucking called it. I'll get you back, alright? Fine, I got your fucking swipe, Thirsty sniffs, and looks at the soles of his shoes. You step in dog shit? Nah, I've been smelling nail polish for like 3 blocks. Weird, I don't smell it, Matthew said, sniffing at the air dubiously. Matty's usually got a sharp nose, meager compensation for being half blind without his glasses. Stop sniffing coke, fool. What if I could? Matthew said, bugging out his eyes and pretending to convulse. Thirsty can't help but laugh. Boom. All right, so that is a chapter right there. I would say that this is another one where, yeah, this one also needs a second pass in the final edit. Hopefully it's just going to be, it's like a second pass, but not like a second pass that I want to do on stream. That's one where I just want to maybe run it myself. So we got through page 43. Yeah, I think the grandma chapter is good. Wait, is the grandma thing a whole chapter? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, it's 5 pages. That's a short ass chapter, but that's what it's going to have to be. All right, so what do we get here? What's our time for people on the stream? The Mia swipe should have a comma afterward. Okay. So we got through 2,461 words today. That's good. Stream time is we were only at this for 136. Huh, it's fucking weird. Feels like way longer because we started at, yeah, I guess 136. All right, let me not burn myself out. It's a work day. I got to do some other stuff here. But yeah, it's pretty decent. I think it's because of the first part. There was nobody to correct me on all the dumb shit that I did. Okay, so Spathiwa, I've made some progress with like the whole Rapasaurus shit. We got hold on, let me flip to if I can air server this. Maybe this will work. Let me show you what we're boom. And let's go to Procreate. And then we can go down here to screen mirroring. Oh fuck. Oh, I don't have air server. All right. Well, I'll show you like I'm working on it a little bit more. I got to turn air server on the other thing. But yeah, I've worked it up so that I created a couple more scenes in this for running like a Rapasaurus live stream. And at some point, we'll do like a test thing of the whole thing. I want to work out a little bit more about how some of our checks and combat resolution. I got to find some more parts and so forth. But progress is being made, and yeah, I want to start doing like some beta runs with random fucking nerds soon. So hopefully that'll be fun. All right, thank you to Spathiwa and everybody else who participated in the editing stream today. I want to say chapter 2, not the strongest chapter in this piece so far. But hopefully significantly better than the chapter that it is replacing. I feel like it's a marked step up from the previous one, and I think we got like a little bit of like creepy foreshadowing going on. I think that like fucking acetone thing at the end is a little heavy-handed. Maybe I'll revisit this at some point, but we'll get back to it. All right, later, y'all.